here you go, jumping into your futures without a parachute again. April 1, 2015. You seem to be having a rather difficult time getting into the channeling process for the last few days, and this is due to both the energetic climate and the unusual activity and focus during this time. We hear your requests for increasing clarity and skill in this process, and that also is having an effect. Things are in flux. Keep working at this and you will find the new process is easier and easier as you move along. Understand that, when processes are changing, it may often seem as if things have come to a standstill even though the exact opposite is really the case. Include this last into the message that you publish, as many others will be noticing the same sort of seeming lull or blockage in their own processes. Today we would discuss the continuing journey that you are all on at this time, specifically the quantum leap forward that many of you are sensing is approaching. You can already begin to see the effects that the collective rise in your light signature is having on your outer world, and that will continue. But what you are now feeling is another milestone in your own development that will be enabled during this next alignment, or what you call gateway. At first it may seem very evident to many of you, and then, as always, as you become used to the new energetic environment, it will become your normal. This is and has always been the way you perceive things. That is actually wonderful. It means that you have assimilated the changes and are able to operate well within the new energies. This time, however, we would like for you to remember that, although things are now your new normal, they are quite different from all of the former normalcies that you have experienced, at least for quite a very long time. They are going to begin approaching what is always normal for you when you are not embodied in that density. You might also think of it as the density itself lightening, and you would not be that incorrect. It is also described by some of you as the lifting of the veil. That is true also, although it is more of a byproduct than a description of the condition itself. Now, what would we say about that? How would we advise you to approach this? Well, for those of you who are discovering new abilities and talents, we would say that you might want to play with them and not take them as things to pat your own backs about so much as things that you have always had and just discovered in your toy box. For those of you who are discovering things that are a mite uncomfortable about yourselves, and this will be happening for some, we would have you know that this is just muddy water washing out of your hose and not anything to beat yourselves up over. Every one of you is standing in a different spot, so to speak, and everyone's next step will need to be what is needed for their own development. Rejoice and give thanks that you are seeing movement. You are not stuck, even though you are a bit impatient at times. You are moving forward far, far more rapidly than has even been possible for millennia, and yet you seem to see yourselves as stuck quite a bit. It is rather humorous, really. So, here you go, jumping into your futures without a parachute again. Have fun and know that you really are not without our constant support and loving help. Once again, we wish to remind you to ask for help whenever and for whatever you need it. We are not too busy, and you are just as important as anyone else. Your concern over that possibility is admirable, but know that you have guides and angels whose only focus is on yourself. Ask. Always ask. Channeled by Ron Head. oraclesandhealers.wordpress.com